We have returned. Welcome back to Versus. It's been a while. Kieran's here to join us. Hello, Kieran.
Hello there.
Yeah, we've had a couple of weeks off. Pre-release has taken up a chunk of my time, and also I've been playing a heck of a lot of limited because hey, new set and all that. But
Yeah.
Canlander still exists. This format we know and love. We are here to witness a game between Dunc and James. Thank you for agreeing to come and watch it with me, Kieran.
Yeah, no worries. I'm looking forward to this. Um, yeah, I think it'll be an interesting matchup. I've not seen Dunk play Citadel Storm yet, and James is on Aluren Control. So,
Aluren Control. Weird. Right, let me start with that
yes.
one then. So,
Okay.
we've got a control deck. We've got a bank control deck that's playing Aluren. Why Aluren? You might ask. And I think the answer is Asarak. There's a fair few creatures in the deck. I think it's 21 creatures in the deck. Looking at the list.
Yeah.
But the idea is that with Aluren, Asarak can just be cast for free at instant speed as many times as you want to. You go through the Lost Mine of Fandelver, and the Dark Pool in that mine drains your opponent for one. So
Yeah.
you should be able to win with that as long as you have enough cards in your deck, because one of the other rooms in that mine will also draw you a card. But I think that's mainly it. James has definitely built this deck with a particular foe in mind. George, we've mentioned a few times on this. It seems like we can't get away from mentioning him even when he's not playing. But he's the frequent winner of our events here in Nottingham, and plays an artifact combo deck, Paradox Academy. What that means is James has shoved 5 or 6 hate cards in the deck, and is very much set up to play against that deck with counter spells and artifact hate, which is music to Dunk's ears, I'm sure. But the points that James is playing are Ancestral Recall, Treasure Cruise, and Mystical Tutor, and we'll find out about what else he's playing a little bit later. Kieran, do you want to tell us
Yeah.
about what Citadel Storm does?
Yeah, so we're talking about artifacts. Well, Citadel Storm just happens to be an artifact combo deck using Bolas's Citadel. Wants to cheat it into play with Tinker being the highest pointed card in the deck at 3 points. And then once we've got Bolas's Citadel in play, we just want to play cards off the top of our library until we win. And we've got cards in the deck that will gain us life when they're cast. We've got Mana Rocks, and it's just an artifact combo deck. So James going into this probably not built his deck for this deck in mind, but it's gonna. I imagine there's a lot of cards that's going to do a lot of work, and I've already seen one in James's hand, the Kataki of War's Wage. And before we do go fully into the gameplay, I'll just go through the points list. So we have Tinker at 3, Manifold, Mystical Tutor, Imperial Seal, Ancient Tomb, and Tainted Pact at 1, and then Vampiric Tutor at 2. So all shooters that put the card on top of the deck, which with Citadel's, Bolas's Citadel, we get to cast them anyway.
Yep.
And here we see the first card played by James is that Kataki's War Wage.
I'm pretty sure Dunk is like crying inside right now, seeing this thing.
Yes. So there are. It's interesting because I think because obviously the way Bolas's Citadel works, you don't want to play many counter spells because if they get stuck to the top of your library, well, you can't cast them. It's kind of the end of your combo.
It's
So the
definitely
way,
interaction light, isn't it? The deck. So
yeah,
getting
yeah,
rid of hate pieces is hard, but the Citadel Storm deck is faster than Paradox Academy generally. I think it can get to the win quite reliably on 2 or 3, but
yes,
not into a card that says sack all your artifacts.
yeah. I mean, Dunc can pay 1. It's what is it? Not pen, tabernacle equivalent for creatures, but this one's for the artifacts. So Dunc can pay 1 to keep the artifacts around, but it kind of not what you want to do with mana. Those mana rocks, is it? Pay
Yeah,
2 mana.
Dunk spent the first couple of turns playing fairly slowly, sculpting hand, for sure. But even this Tamio switched off pretty nastily, because
Yeah.
a clue doesn't really help us that much. it gets to just block a Kataki, but
So 0-3 blocker at this point. Bit of an opt.
more
I
hand
didn't.
sculpting.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what James searched off the spell seeker.
It was ephemerate. Yep.
Ephemerate. So we're setting up protection or second spell seeker.
Just do it multiple times again. Yeah, do it second and third
Yeah.
time. Again, this will be partly down to James knowing that Dunk's not playing much interaction and removal for creatures. I suspect.
Looking at the list, there's a couple of cards. There's an Into the Floodmoor, which is bounce it. There's a Swords to Plowshares. That might literally be it in regards.
Yeah,
to
there's I think there's there's artifact removal as well. Is it a portable hole? Is it? What's the?
Oh, is there a portable hole?
Or there's something. No spell. What's the energy one? I saw that one in there.
Oh, the enchantment.
No, the artifact.
Yeah. No, the static prison is in there, so that's the enchantment with energy.
Okay, yeah, it's enchantment.
Yeah.
Okay, we've ephemerated for an Eladamri's Call.
See, I don't know what's going on here. There's an Ancestral Recall in James's deck, and he's got a Spell Seeker here, and he's not gone to get that.
Well, it's probably in hand then, right?
I mean, if we're getting Asarak here, I've got to imagine he's already got the Aluren ready to go.
Well, or either that or the Ephemerate's going to go and get your what's it called? Enlightened Tutor, yeah. And then you've just got Ephemerate's pretty silly with a Spell Seeker. You just assemble combo instantly. And by instantly, I mean that in both ways.
Yeah. So,
James has got to feel fairly. I don't know, like how safe can you feel? Because what Kataki is you sack it. When do you sack it? Is it upkeep?
I think it's upkeep. You have to pay the.
So like, it doesn't mean it means Dunc can't set up with a load of artifacts, but he can still go off. So it's not like
he has missed a land drop, but there is like it doesn't take much. It's just land, dark ritual, Bolas is Citadel, and we can
then go for a
win on the spot.
Yeah,
especially his deck lines up well for him.
And we do have the Enlightened Tutor here.
I mean, there's always the option of this Tamio just attacks, makes a clue, and we just tinker into Bolas' Citadel and go that way. But here we go. We've assembled combo. Well, we've shown Dunc combo now. Dunc's now understands what's going on. There's an Aluren on top of my library. There's an Asarak in hand.
It's certainly worth noting that James has not played this deck yet into the meta, so nobody knows what the heck he's doing. Which is certainly an advantage considering essentially... Oh, there's your recall.
There's recall.
Essentially, James will have known that Dunc was either on Citadel Storm or Abzan mid-range.
That one might be the nail in the coffin. Stony Silence.
I love the fact that that's made it in. Go on, talk to me about Stony Silence and how you don't think it should be played in any decks.
Well, it shouldn't. That's a sideboard card. But I suppose in Canlander you don't get sideboards. Sometimes you have to play these cards in your main deck. I mean, we're playing green. We've got Collector Reef in there already. So why not, I suppose?
Poor Dunc. James has built this deck to beat George, and James has played up against Dunc in round one. What can you do?
We do also have one new card from Tarkir Dragonstorm, I think it's called, the Clarion Conqueror.
Nice.
The two and a white flying activated abilities of of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated. So it's almost a second copy of Collector Roof against these artifact decks.
Beautiful. While you were explaining that, we did get a treasure cruise after an ancestral recall, which I'm sure you'd approve of.
Yeah, drawing 6 cards in a turn. Beautiful.
Not bad, not bad. I would say also that that flying dragon was one of 2 cards that I'd highlighted as cards that I was excited for Canlander in Tarkir. So it was that one and the Voice of Victory.
And you'll be happy to know that the Voice of Victory is actually in Dunc's deck as well. So both of them.
Voice of Victory is in Dunc's deck.
Yeah, so your opponent can't cast spells during your turn. It's
You just get to combo off with protection.
Combo off. Yeah, free protection.
Nice. Okay. So first match that we're watching since the release of Tarkir Dragonstorm, and both cards that I'd named at release on pre-release weekend are being played. Mate, I feel good about this. I'm close to calling myself an expert in the format. No, I'm not really.
No, you said it now. I expect 3 O's and 4 O's.
I said close.
So Dunc plays a land and passes. James plays the Aluren we know about.
So Dunc's got interaction of some sort, because otherwise. Alright, so we'll flash up the dungeon for you just to show what's going on. We do have the Into the Floodmoor, as you called it out.
And there's a Pact of Negation.
It's been Pact of Negation. And that will do it. So there's the combo. Dunc horrendously shut down and then shown him a different combo that that I've not seen before. So
I don't think Dunc ever played an artifact though, so I don't even think that Kataki was needed. In that game.
But he could have had a grip of artifacts and just knew that he couldn't play them until he had to win.
Yeah. I think the turn where we went Ancestral Recall and Treasure Cruise was probably good enough.
Yeah, so I played against James in this tournament, and he played at Recall against me 3 times in a game. It's pretty hard to beat.
In fact, now I'm going to quote one of the great Canlander players in Nottingham, Henry. Recoil is a bad card, apparently, so it's not worth the 8 points.
It's because I played poorly. That's why I lost to Recall being cast 3 times.
Yes, it's not the 9 cards it's drawn.
No, it's just misplays all around from me.
Yeah.
Dunc, do better.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, all right. We go into game 2, and as we go into game 2, I'm surprised that I've not mentioned this already, but check out both of these playmats. They are sweet.
So I'd seen the champion one. Sadly, I didn't get a chance to win that one. Close, but not quite close enough. Yep. But I saw Dunc's. When would it have been? I think it was on the Friday just gone at draft.
Yep.
And I think it's pretty sweet that
It looks amazing.
His own little Knots Canlander one.
Yeah, I put something together for him, and it's super sweet how it looks. It's very clean. I like it. So 2 branded playmats for you.
Yeah.
And here's a Mistress Bauble. So you can tell us which one you'd prefer you'd prefer. Not in terms of, like, obviously you want the championship winning. You want the champion playmat just to tell people that you're the champion.
Yes.
But in terms of artwork, what do you reckon? 6 versus Tamiyo?
Well, it's interesting that they are both MH3 cards. It says a lot about MH3.
Yep.
And the power level of it. I think they're both quite nice in their own way. Like the 6 artwork is quite simplistic. The block background, whereas Tamiyo, it's got a lot going on. There's a lot of detail in there. Like I'd never noticed I imagine that's green tea that's come alive.
Oh yeah.
or the lantern that looks like a pumpkin with a smiley face.
It's pretty cool.
But yeah, I like both of them.
Yeah,
This
way to sit on the fence.
this is a much better start from Dunc. We're already up to a healthy 4 mana, 2 artifacts, and an Imperial Seal.
And we're going to put Bolas's Citadel on top.
Yes, I've got to imagine it is.
Imperial
Seal.
We said
card.
we said Dunc could reliably get their turns 2-3. We're seeing it here.
Yeah. I mean, what does he need? So he's up to a 4 mana. He's got 1 black. Is Bolas's Citadel double black? I can't remember.
Triple, right?
Is it triple? It is triple black. So we do need
Ritual.
A ritual of some sort. So maybe we've gone to get a ritual. Land ritual here.
So land ritual tinker.
Oh well, tinker on its own. You don't even need the ritual.
Oh, sorry, not tinker. Yeah, we don't know what's in his hand. Unless you've been trying to see what's there.
No, I forgot tinker was a card. I imagine he's just tutored for tinker actually.
Yeah.
Just we don't want to play a 6 mana spell the hard way. We just want to cheat it to play.
Why would you Why would you play tinker in an artifact deck?
Don't know.
Weird.
It's only 3 points. That's probably why.
I mean, it's why Bauble's not been sacked yet, I assume.
Yeah. So, ideal turn here from Dunc would be to cast one of the silence effects, like whether that be silence or orange chant, to bait any counter spell, or just know that the rest of your turn is free. Follow it up with a tinker, get rid of the artifacts or whatever, and then just proceed to win.
Do we reckon this is bait, or are we just not got anything? I don't know. Like, surely Tinker's there.
Yeah, I think he's scared of counterspell, and he should be. There is I think it's called evasive action. 1 and a blue, counter a spell equal to the number of basics you control.
Interestingly, just pass the turn. So that could have been a window where he could have gone for it, but chose not to because of spells. But like, the later you go, the more likely it is that James has actually got a counterspell, right?
Okay, I like this though. We're gonna
see
use some hand attack.
What's going on? Okay, so
2 counter.
There is an evasive action, so that if that was there, then it wasn't happening, right?
Yeah. So
the previous turn.
Yeah. So I think you want to take the evasive action here, right? And
so we've got Leyline Binding, evasive action, endurance, brain surge, sink into stupor, and then snappy and swords. But yeah, it's got to be evasive action. You've
at least if sink into stupor happens, it goes back into your hand, and you get another chance to try again next turn.
You get to go again. Yeah. I think the issue is
Leyline Binding is an issue here though as well, because we probably only get 1 spell.
It's true. Leyline Binding just exiles it.
Yeah, is Dunc only got 1 card in hand as well?
We did mull to 6 at the beginning of this one. While we were chatting rubbish about Tarkir.
Then I
think it's still, so it's still evasive action.
Still evasive action, and then we've just got to. I mean, it's going to be a very tough game to navigate. But
the plan is to find removal for the Leyline Binding probably at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We go. We have a window. We get to cast 1 spell off it.
All right. Let me just have a quick look at all the other artifacts in the deck. See if there's anything.
Anything else you go for that's not Citadel? Okay, we have just gone for Citadel.
So considering there's nothing else in hand, it is probably just best to go Citadel. But there was the option for. I mean, the 1 ring wouldn't do it because the 1 ring would just get exiled in response to the trigger of drawing a card.
It's a really good hand from James
Yeah, he's
to
kind of got
stop
it
this from happening, isn't it?
covered in all aspects here.
It's like I had a counter spell. I had I've got graveyard removal as well. We've got bounce it. We've got exile it, and we've got Snapcaster Mage to kind of recast some spells. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. I mean, we haven't seen the artifact hate, but Dunc's again not very happy about what we're seeing. We just get a free Lotus Bloom.
And then off the top there, Force of Negation. So.
Oh,
And
Force
now
of
we
Negation's
get
just gone into James's hand, has it?
Yeah.
Ugh. Wait.
And now we get to Brain Surge.
Sink of
Hide
Stupid.
the hand.
Hold up. Sink of Stupid's just been put into the bin. So that should be an evasive action. With those two cards have just been swapped around, so I think it's just an error on James's part that we've shown what the cards were in hand and then put the wrong one back into the bin.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't impact things. But
So with this Burlesque Citadel in exile, I don't know if there's any way for Dunc to get this back.
Well, we said Static Prison is one of the ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's not a permanent solution. You don't. Yeah, I suppose you don't need it to be permanent.
Could also be an Into the Floodmoor.
Oh yeah, true. Okay. So this can go and get the Floodmoor, right?
So if I'm James here, I'm always tempted to let him Dunc resolve this and then counter the removal spell.
Well, because he also has to draw it, so you're cancelling a draw as well.
So because now if he just top decks the answer, there is a window. Whereas if you let Dunc search for it, he's got one less answer in his deck.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean Dunc's whole turn. You basically give Dunc a turn here by letting this by
countering the tutor rather than the drawn card.
Yes, and then you've also got what's it called, endurance. So if it was something that did something from the bin, something fancy, you can always shuffle it back in as well. What does Wishing Well do? Doesn't it have another line of text? Witching Well. Sacrifice it to draw 2 cards. Okay. We do have that option available.
It's an option.
We're going to endurance the bin.
How much does Dunc care about his bin?
I don't think he does. I mean, it goes to the bottom of your library, so it's not affecting your draws, is it? I think it's just James putting a threat into play.
Yeah, I was going to say this is just like me. James is going to then push damage with it.
Yeah.
3 damage a turn is
better than 0.
Yeah, better than nothing. Oh my goodness! Here's another piece of hate.
Oh, Dunc not drawing off the well there.
Is that a mistake?
That's definitely a mistake because you've not even got the Lotus Petal to Lotus Bloom to exile.
Wait, yeah, so I mean, you can tap and sack the Lotus Bloom even at that point to draw, right?
Yeah, I think Dunc's just missed this line of text on Witching Well.
I mean, it's there. It's in the deck for the scry, isn't it?
Yeah.
We do have an enlightened tutor.
We can go get the answer in the static prison now.
Okay. All right, yeah. So it goes to top, and then we draw it.
Yeah. Was this in James's end step?
Yes, but James has got all the mana open, so we've got Sink into... Well, it's Sink into Stupor in hand rather than evasive action.
Yeah.
How many colours do you need to play evasive action? Is it just 3?
At 3, you're better off just playing Mana Leak, right? At 4, evasive action becomes better.
I'm just interested at the inclusion, considering James is just on Bant.
Is it just strict ban? There's no
I believe so.
off-color lands.
Oh, I didn't look into detail at the lands, but I'd be surprised if you just add off-color lands for an evasive action.
Well, there's a leyline binding there as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was something.
Right. Okay. If you've got multiple reasons, then it would make sense. Again, leyline binding looks pretty sketchy in a 3-color deck to me.
So it is just true 3 color, so I wouldn't be playing leyline binding either.
All right, we've got the Snappy that we knew about into the Force, and
so I think this
jumped
is
through
where
a few hoops. Yeah, we've called it.
Yeah, Dunc's going to concede there. 5 damage going through. He's only on 6 life, so just
Wrath of the Skies as well.
Is that
hey, look, that's Voice of Victory.
Well?
Look, everyone's playing it.
Yeah.
And James going to show us all of the hate pieces.
Yeah.
We've got Wrath of the Skies, Haywire Might. Is it Kataki?
Kataki, Stony Silence. Collect Reef. Yeah, the list there's quite a lot. There's a lot available for him.
Because we were talking about the fact that actually counter spells is kind of what you need. Cheap counter spells to combat these combo decks. Mid-range piles are going to really struggle, which people have historically been or recently been on a lot of mid-range piles. And there's my dragon.
Yeah.
Well done, James. Bello Max Tam Dunc. Thank you so much for joining us again, Kieran. It's been a joy, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.